Hey, try and get me now. So that is what you want to see. You want to see the queens absolutely covered in bees. It's a bit annoying though. This is why I don't like aggressive colonies. I do beekeeping to enjoy myself. Hello, this is Greg from Mystery Honey. Today is going to be a bit of a busy day for me. I don't know if you keep track of me on Facebook or TikTok and stuff like that, but a swarm made a home in some old equipment that I was keeping at my house. I went through it last night and it's only a very small swarm and it's just taken up a single super box. So I managed to bring that over here to the quarantine apiary. So I'm going to put that there. I had a massive outbreak of disease last year, so I just don't want to risk it. So it's going to be in the quarantine apiary as far away from the rest of the bees as possible. The only other bees here at the quarantine apiary are colonies that I've created from splits from Hive Laura. Hive Laura is going to be my main queen that I'm going to be rearing other queens from this year. So whilst I'm here, I'm going to do some grafting as well. I'm just going to graft 10 cells, not going to graft a lot, just 10 cells and take them to my queen rearing apiary. At the queen rearing apiary, there's a lot to do. So I've got 6 new queens that I ordered online from a guy who's also a very small time bee farmer. His business is called The Buzzy Place. He doesn't have a website yet, and I said to him that I wouldn't share his information, like email and stuff. That's how I got in touch with him, until all the queens have been successfully introduced. I only say that because when I've been buying queens from other places, imported queens and stuff, and they've failed, people see me buying them, they order their own queens and then they fail, and maybe it's not a very good queen or something along those lines, like it was in the case of the imported queens, and then they kind of blame me for it. So I'm not going to share any information about this guy until they're all successfully introduced, and then when they're all successfully introduced, then I'll be like, yeah, go with this guy, he's great. He seems really lovely. Again, he's a small-time bee farmer, so I'm trying my best to support him, as he's probably going to try and support me in future. So I need to do that at the queen rearing apiary. I need to use them to requeen the nasty colonies that I've got. I split one of the big colonies last week up into 3 different areas, and I have another nasty colony which I managed to find the queen, marked it, and then I caged her so she couldn't get around. There's a few other colonies that I want to requeen as well. So I'm going to requeen those colonies with those new queens that I've just ordered. The queens that I graft here will be going in the queen rearing colony, and then other than that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be shaking all the bees down in all of the boxes that are there, into a fresh bottom box. The reason for that is that the summer flow has randomly started quite early, although it's starting to rain today, so it means that it's sort of like pushing it down a bit. But because the flow started early, I want to make sure that the bees have fresh space, and they're like, oh wow, we've got so much space, I don't want to swarm. It's just a little trick I do at the beginning of a flow, just to make sure that they've got fresh space, so they're not like, it's getting a bit tight, let's swarm. You know, I don't want them feeling that way. If you give them fresh box, then they're like, oh, I can stretch. It's a good way of getting them out of wanting to swarm. Also, I'm going to be making queen rearing nucs out of these colonies next week, so it's another way of making sure I know where the queen is, so I can steal bees and brood and stuff like that. So that's another reason why I'm going to be doing it at the queen rearing apiary. I've also made a purchase. So this here is my normal veil. So if you look at it, see how it sort of pinches in there? That's why I still have small like stings here from last week. I can still feel the lumps of where the stings were right there, either side of my neck, and it really hurt. But it's because this pinched inwards like that. Now normally for my other bees, it doesn't really matter. They don't really care about trying to sting you or anything like that. They just sort of like walk around and that's it, max. They don't try and sting you. But the angry colony was trying its best to sting me. So I made a purchase. Hey, try and get me now. Yeah, so I may look like a bit more of a wally. I really don't like these types of veils, but at least it stops the bees from getting anywhere near my face. And that is important to me because my face really hurt last week. Right, I'm going to go get my suit on and I'm going to go get cracking. So as you can see, it's a little bit messy. I need to come here with the strimmer and make some space. I'm just having a look, trying to figure out where I'm going to put this swarm. I think I'm going to stick it where Kate used to be, in this corner, facing that direction. It seems to be facing the bees as far away from everyone else as possible, and the chance of drift is minimalised. So I'm going to stick it there. Yeah, I'm going to get my bee suit on and do that. See you in a minute. Oh man, this is really dangerous. So it's only a small colony in here, it's only small. So it shouldn't be flooding out when I open the entrance, that's not too bad. But Yeah, this is really, really dangerous, having all this crap just everywhere. I need to do something to make it a bit neater, make it a bit more accessible. But yeah, so anyways, crack on with letting these guys out. Thinking about it, these colonies here, the queens should have been mated by now. So I think what I'm going to do is just have a quick check, see if I can find any eggs. Right, I'm going to open the entrance and run away. Whoop, there we go. When you're homing a swarm, take them to a quarantine area well away from your other hives, like your production ones. So if there is any disease in them, it doesn't spread to the ones. The main cause of disease in an apiary is you. Be attacking them. We are the main spreaders of disease because we wear the same bee suit for the different hives, because we possibly use the same tool for the different hives. This is why it's important that if you're going to do a quarantine apiary, you wear a different suit. So if you look here, I'm wearing a different suit to the one I use in the other apiaries. Make sure you use fresh gloves. Make sure you clean your hive tool in between colonies. That's important. Take the swarm to the quarantine apiary and then leave it for about 3 to 4 weeks. Like, keep on top of it with some extra space if they need it. Keep an eye out for any brood and stuff like that. You want to make sure that there's eggs, which means that there's a queen that's laying properly. You want to make sure that there is healthy larvae, that they are C-shaped, that they are well segmented of all stages. There are none that in the cell like that, they have sort of an appearance that they are melting in the bottom. You don't want any of that, that's the FB, that's bad. You don't want them where they're twisted and they're pointing upwards. You don't want them where they are like melted in the very back of the cell and crystallised, because that's chalk brood. You want to make sure that it's healthy larvae all the way through. You also want to be looking at the cell cappings as well. So you want them to be that digestive biscuit sort of colour. You want them to look dry and healthy as well. And before you're willing to move that colony anywhere else, just get a stick, get a toothpick and go through a few of those capped cells. Even though they look great, just go through a couple and have a look. If there is a trail that follows the toothpick from the cell, that's AFB, and that is a notifiable disease. You will need to get in touch with the NBU straight away. Like, just don't mess around, okay? If you see the bees and they are juddering a bit, or are shiny, or something along those lines, keep an eye on that. That could be chronic bee paralysis virus. That's what I had to deal with, and that's what wiped out all the bees that were at this apiary originally. If you have any issues, or you see something you're like, that looks kind of dodgy, get in touch with your local association, ASAP. They will have hundreds of years of combined experience, and they'll send someone who's probably got some qualifications and stuff about disease. They'll have a look and go, yeah, we need to get in touch with the National Bee Unit. Just don't mess about. They won't mind. They don't care that they're coming out of the way to have a look at bees. They do this as a hobby. They love looking at bees, and every beekeeper is nosy about everyone else's apiary. Everyone, get in touch with them and they'll come down, they'll have a look, and they'll give you the thumbs up, thumbs down for getting in touch with the NBU. Or just go straight to the NBU. That's literally what they get paid to do, is deal with disease, so they won't have any issues whatsoever. Right, I'm going to go get some cells, I'm going to do some grafting, and I might check these 2 colonies here for a laying queen. I won't look for the queen, I'll just look for eggs. If I see eggs, close them off. Right. So I was only here a couple of days ago. So what I did was I found a frame that was full of eggs, and I put it in the top box and I wrote B on it. So hopefully after a couple of days those eggs will have hatched now and I'll have very young larvae. I also put another box of space in here because they were starting to look a bit full. As you can see, they're on the top here, so it means that they're still feeling quite full. It's also a manky day today, so chances are they are probably just all hiding in here, all the foragers. So I'm just going to give them a quick puff. Now, Laura is usually very good. I did get stung the other day by her quite a bit because I came in to see her and it was very late. Bees don't like to be disturbed at night for understandable reasons. Do you? Do you like to be woken up? No. So I'm not too fussed about the fact that she got a bit stingy that night. Always tap the bees off the crown board because you don't have the queens there. Yep. Might upset them a bit, so if it's an angry colony, then maybe don't do that. But other colonies, you should be okay. They'll come and investigate you because you've just made a load of noise and stuff. Other than that, they won't mind. So this is the frame here where it had all the eggs on, so hopefully this will be nice and quick. I can just dip in and dip out. Come on, where are you? There we go. So a quick look. I've filled all that with honey. Let's have a look. Do we have any young larvae? Yeah, we have some of the young larvae here. I only need 10, so I don't need a lot. So I'm just going to shake these bees off, so I don't fill my van full of bees. And then I'll come back in 2 ticks. Remember, when you're brushing bees off, use your nails. They can't sting through the nails, no matter how they try. So it's just a good way of making sure you know that they're not going to get you. Right, so move this down here, and just so they don't get cold, because it is quite a chilly day, I'm just going to put the lid on. Ooh. Like so, just for a minute. Right, grafting done. That took barely any time at all. Let's see how I do. 10 out of 10. Right. Smoke you down. Yes, I stole some brood, I'm sorry. Come on, get down. So the majority of this top box is actually honey, so these guys are doing quite well honey-wise. I've just given them a fresh box, so I don't need to give them anything now, but probably next week I'll probably nip during the week and I'll give them another box. I've already seen eggs and stuff like that, so these guys don't need checking really. Ugh. I did a full inspection on, I think it was Wednesday. So I'll have a quick look in these colonies here, these two, where the queen was going out mated, see if I can see eggs and cap brood. If I can't, I'll just move on. It can take up to a month for a queen to get well mated if the weather is absolutely crap. Any longer than that, then chances are she might turn into a drone layer, but we'll see. So have a quick nose at you. The thing about nucs as well is that once you've got a laying queen in a nuc, they will fill up fast, so it's always good to make sure that they've got space in here. So I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 seams of bees, so that's good. Means that if the queen has come back, she's not started laying crazily yet. Oh, I was wrong. This was blocking it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seams of beans. Okay. Right, so let's have a look. It's an awkward height, this. I have to sort of like kind of take a knee. So I'm just going to give them a quick smoke. Don't worry guys, it's just me. Let's have a look. Okay, so yes, we've got lots of eggs, so that's good. Just because there's lots of eggs... Oh, there's the queen as well. Queen's right here. And she looks just like her mum. That's incredible. Right, I'm going to just capture her and give her a quick mark. I've got my tools, I do. Well, that was fortuitous, wasn't it? So she's come back and is laying well. No. I've not got my marking cage. Bother. Right, I'll be back in a second. I go, I come back. So there's the queen. She's absolutely gorgeous. She looks just like her mother. Nice and juicy as well. Look at the size of her. Woo. Love a juicy queen. Right. I'm going to put her in this marking cage so we can mark her. There you go. Don't worry about the jolts, it doesn't affect them too much. It's the only way to get them out of the perch. There we go. Right. See a bit more properly there. The size of her. Oh. She's a big one, this one. Right, and this year is white marks. So when you're marking, get them in the cage so they're nice and pinned down like that. So they've got a nice thing there. And dot yourself. Make sure there's no excess ink. And we're just going to give a little dot. We don't have to go too crazy. Try and do it a bit more circular, if you can. And we're just going to mark that area there. And then she should stand out like a sore thumb, which is exactly what we want. Look at her. See her nice and easy now. So I'm going to leave her to just dry while I have a look, make sure that it is worker brood and not drone brood in here. So where am I going to stick her? I'm going to stick her here, just for now. I usually stick her over the brood, but because it's a nuc, chance of her getting knocked off, especially if she falls down there as well, is high, so I don't want to risk it really. So we're just going to have a quick look. Let's look for some capped brood. So the larvae is on this frame. So I'm just going to have a quick look. So let's have a look at this larvae here. So as you can see, the eggs all dead centre, looks absolutely perfect, and the larvae looks good as well. All C-shaped, all segmented, all with food in the bottom. That's good. And if we look at the pattern, the laying pattern's really good as well. She's gone straight for all the darker bits here. That's where all the larvae is, or eggs. That's great. So these guys are doing really well. She's come out the gate sprinting, so that's really good. I'm really happy with that. And we've got some lovely capped brood here as well. So I'm going to shake these bees off and we'll have a look at the capped brood. See what it looks like. So that means that she's been here for at least a week. So although the pattern on the other frames looks really good, this one looks kind of dodgy. When a queen bee comes back from mating, she's just learning how to use her superpower. So she's just a bit unsure on what to do. So you've got eggs here next to old larvae and next to young larvae. So it's just a bit higgledy-piggledy, but they will get used to it and they will start doing really well. So give them a few weeks, give them a month or so. If the pattern is still like that, then maybe think about changing it and doing another queen. But if it looks like that, where it's just eggs all over the frame, yeah, that's fine. But the cappings look okay, looks good. That there, see the white bit there? That is a sign of varroa. So that is a varroa poo. So that means that there's some varroa in this somewhere. They've opened up a capping there, so that one might have had some varroa. But other than that, not seeing any sunken cells, so you can tell sunken cells because it looks genuinely like a concave capping. But it looks good. Yeah, it looks really good. I'm quite happy with this. She's a good queen. So I think I'm going to just put it back. I'm happy with that. I'd say maybe, let's have a think. They're almost filling the box now. I'll probably say another week or so, and then I'll either sell her on or put her in her own hive. Because she's a beautiful queen. I might even use her to requeen the original Laura. So she's just gone down there. These bees seem happy now. So I'm going to close them up. Seem absolutely fine. They weren't trying to sting me or anything, so that's good. Yeah, let's put the lid on and crack on. So this is the split that I took from Laura. I'll have a quick look. See inside. Hopefully this has got a well-mated queen as well. And it's been successful all round. Oh. So these bees are filling the box, so that's pretty good. Where's my smoker? So we're just looking for eggs, remember, we're not looking for anything special. No eggs there. Shake the bees off in case the queen's on this frame. Give them a quick smoke. So these guys seem to be quite grumpy. Don't worry about it too much, because when you have left them queenless and you just put queen cell and stuff like that, all the nurse bees slowly start to turn into older flying bees. So nucs, after you just had a queen that's gone mated, may be slightly grumpy. Don't worry about it too much. They will calm down once all the nurse bees start coming out again. So no eggs on that frame. Nothing on that frame. Generally start in the middle. No eggs. No eggs. Okay. I thought that was an egg, but it's not. No eggs. Right. So I'm starting to get worried that there's no queen in here. I looked at the frame where the queen cell was, that one with the dot there, and there was no queen cell there, so she must have emerged. But I'm seeing no eggs whatsoever. So there's a way of finding out whether they're queenless or not, and it's just a matter of getting some eggs from another box and plopping them in. And the bees will start drawing out queen cells if there's no queen in here. If you put eggs or brood inside a box that you think is queenless and they don't make queen cells, there's a chance that there is a virgin queen in there. There is a queen that is possibly dying in here, and the bees are like, oh, we can still smell the pheromone, we don't need to make a new queen. So if you put eggs in here and no queen cells are made, then there's more than likely going to be a queen in here. So don't go buying a new queen or producing a new queen or anything like that if that's the case. If you're like 80% sure there's no queen in here, what you can do is shake them through a queen excluder. get a super box, put a queen excluder underneath and tape all the way around the bottom so it's sealed, and shake every single frame into that queen excluder, then smoke all the bees down. All the normal bees should be able to get down. All that'll be left is the drones and the queen. You'll see the queen because she'll be bobbing. Her bum will be sticking up in the air like that. So all you need to do is pick her up. I'm just going to get some eggs from the original Laura, probably use that frame that I use for grafting, and pop it in here. I'll make a note which one it is, and then next week when I come and look, I'll see if there's any queen cells. Pick a frame, any frame. Ugh. So if there's no queen in here, that's another reason why they might be flying at me. No one's stung me yet, so they're not angry. Just a little confused. If there's no queen in here, what I will do is I'll combine her with the original. It's always better to have one big colony over lots of small ones. So there's enough larvae in there that they'll start making a queen. And it's already marked. So it's already got a bee on it, so I can come back and check. I'll close these guys up. Oop, nice and easy. I'll put this frame back in here and close these guys up. Right, I'm going to go to the queen rearing apiary now, and yeah, let's crack on. Time's going. Right, so I'm at the queen rearing apiary now. I've got me big old hood on. Hey, I'll put that on in a second. I have cleaned and sterilised this suit, so I put it on a wash, put it in with soda crystals, and that gets rid of all the pheromones. It's nasty. I've also done the same with these gloves as well. So these gloves were getting a bit manky from going through these hives that are full of propolis. So again, put these in through the wash with the same as this, with just normal detergent and soda crystals. As you can see, they're nice and clean, nice and sterilised. All the sting stains have gone. It's pretty good. So I won't put these on straight away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick with just normal cuffs for now. I've always used cuffs with my other suit because the other one I had was just like a bit of Velcro that tightened it slightly. It wasn't very good. You didn't have this there, making a tight seal. So what I did was I bought some of these cuffs. So they just go over the arm. And it just gives you a bit more leeway. So even though your sleeve rides up, that stays in the same place. So it just gives you a bit more protection around the wrist. This doesn't always work against stings because this is only thin. So if the bees want to sting you through this, they will. It is a bit more bellowed, so hopefully it stops the bees from getting too close to your skin. They are useful. They are useful. But if you are dealing with bees that are stinging you a lot, go for these rubber sting-proof gloves. They're much better. Right, so first job here is to take the banked queens. So I've got some queens. I've banked them in the queen's colony, take them out and put in the grafts. And that's job number one. I think I need to go through it just to make sure there's no queen cells, just in case, but they should be okay and ready to go. After that, it's just a matter of putting those queens in boxes. So I need to go through 1, 2, 3 boxes from that horrible colony and see which one has the queen in. If neither have the queen in, I'm going to check for queen cells and pop one of the new queens inside. Now, I won't be releasing them straight away unless they have had no queen for a week. If they've had no queen for a week and they've got no queen cells, then I'll pop the tab and let them be released. If they have got the queen in there, then I'm just going to leave the queen cage in there. Then I'm going to remove the nasty queen and leave the queen cage with the new queen in the top. I'll let them get to know her a bit, and then next week I'll release her. It's annoying it being an extra week added on top of the release date, but I just want to make sure that the bees inside those hives don't make any queen cells and they are completely hopelessly queenless, and this is their only chance of surviving, because then they'll let her out. Right, I'm just going to get cracking, I think. I just need to get moving. Let's start with getting those queens out and putting these queen cups in, and yeah, let's see what else happens. So here I am wearing my new hat. It's quite good actually. It feels a lot more room in here, obviously, but it is a bit annoying because it does stick to your head a bit, so it means you can't turn your head without having to like mess your hair up. But oh well, never mind. Who cares what you look like? You're a beekeeper. Right, okay, so let's see how they're treating the queens. What I don't want to do is open this up and have all the queens dead. That would be really, really upsetting to me. So I'm going to take the lid off. Now there's bees up here in the crown board, and this super right here is just dead space. So that is so the bees can get to the queens. So I'm just going to crack this, tap them down, and oh, perfect. So that is what you want to see. You want to see the queens absolutely covered in bees, because that means that the bees are coming over and they are looking after them. So I'm not going to lift them up yet. I'm just going to have a quick look from a distance and see if I can see bees moving about inside the cages. And yes, I can. So this queenless colony, these guys are fraught with panic because they are completely queenless, hopelessly so. So I'm just going to take these queens away, but just if you see them flying at my hand, that's the reason why, because the panics and they want to protect these queens because this is literally their only chance at survival. So try not to smoke queens. I'm not going to shake the bees off. I'm just going to leave them on because they will keep them slightly warm while I get them into the right hives. And I'm just going to have a look, make sure the queens are alive. That's alive. So we've got a Buckfast here. That's alive. Buckfast there. That's alive. Mongrel is alive. Mongrel is alive. And Mongrel is alive. Now they've got the markings off. So the bee farmer that did this, I need to get in touch with him and say that he needs to get a better pen because those bee markings have come off. I'll have to do that myself after they've been introduced. So I'm just going to close up. So the bees on top, I'm just going to leave them. That's fine. I'm just going to move them to the side. Let them hunker over the queens so it keeps them nice and warm. Let's find somewhere to put them. Right, so I've got them in a tray. I'm just going to leave them down here out the way. They should be nice and safe there. The bees flying over them should keep them entertained and keep them safe. So I'm going to take this queen's excluder off. And I'm going to go through this hive now and make sure there's no queen cells. There shouldn't be any queen cells, but I'm just making sure. Last thing you want to do is add grafted cells and then a queen emerge earlier than them and kill all the cells that you've made. It's a bloody nightmare and it happens to everyone at least once. When doing this, always start with the bottom. This colony's not had a queen in for 2 weeks now, so chances of them having any queen cells in here is extremely slim, but you should always make sure. Always, always, always. So remember to shake them. So it looks like there's a queen cup there. It's empty, obviously. I left my torch back in the car and it's gone dark because it's about to rain. Perfect. I'll get these grafts in, I'll go get it. Again, these guys are just a bit fraught because the panics, they've got no way of making a new queen. So they may fly and try and ward me off. They won't sting me unless really annoyed. And hopefully I don't have to annoy them too much. They will fly at my hand, they will bump off my helmet just to try and shoo me away. Because bees don't particularly want to die. They don't want to sting you. So that's an interesting one. So if you can see here, there's a queen cell there, and they've torn it down from the side, not from the bottom. So that could mean that there's actually a queen in here somewhere. Oh, we'll know next week if my grafts don't get made. Down, put the next box on. Now, I can't actually see if the bees are bothering you, your microphone, so I apologise if it starts getting more buzzy than usual. I've got like a weird thing stopping me from looking down. Tell you what, this gives you a lot more protection though, so I've got to hand it to him there. Alright, so I've got to find a frame on this box to take out, swap out with the grafted cells. I'm wanting to get these grafted cells in as quick as possible because the longer you leave grafted cells out of a hive, the more they lose moisture and the colder they get, and you don't want them to get too cold. It's a honey frame, I can take you up. So when you do grafted cells, put it right in the centre if you can, and always put it near some bee bread or some pollen. So that there's got quite a bit of pollen there, that's good, it's more than enough that we need. So, make a little mark. Pollen. And if I find a better frame, then I won't use that, but it means I can put the grafts there. More bee bread there, so it doesn't really matter if you put them next to that one or that one. They've got bread, they've got pollen. And some brood there. So actually this is probably a perfect spot. So I'll try and remember to put them there, but you know what my memory's like. From in between my fingers, please. I don't want to squish anyone. Brood here as well. All emerging, no queens. Good. Queen cups, nothing in them though. No queen. Honey frame. My guess is the other two are going to be honey frame as well. Yep, honey frame. Last one is a honey frame. Perfect. Right, so I'm going to push this over there. So we've got some brood either side here, we've got some bee bread right here. So what I'm going to do is push this so the bee bread is directly against the new queen cells. I've got the frame here. Get the grafts. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 grafts. Let's see how these do. It's the one with the drawing pin there. Right, I'm going to put the super on top. Let's have a look what's going on in here. I don't doubt there'll be anything in here apart from honey. I think I gave them this for space. Let's let the queen out. Yeah, there we go. That's honey. 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 Yes, pretty much just a full super of honey. They've not had a queen to lay in here, so it wouldn't be anything else. So if I wanted to, I could put a queen excluder on, and it means that this would stay as a honey box rather than have some brood laying in it at some point. But I think there's enough honey in here that I don't think that'll happen. So I'm just going to close them up and leave them for a week, and job done. So it's just started raining. So what I've done is I've taken the bees on that tray and I've put them inside the shed to keep them out of the rain. They should be okay. They've got a good amount of bees protecting them, so that's fine. But yeah, it's a bit annoying. It's raining. So, nasty hive. I'm looking to see if the queen is in here. If she's not in here, then I can put one of those queens in straight away. I'm also going to be looking for queen cells as well. So the good news is that all the flying bees will have flown away from here and gone back to the original place. So this should just be nurse bees and hopefully the queen. We'll find out now. So it's a tiny amount of bees here. Tiny, tiny. There is 2 seams, so the chances of the queen being in here is slim. So what I might have to do is I might have to put these guys in a nuc before releasing the queen with them. You can see there's a bit of brood there. With bees on it, keeping it warm. Same on the other side as well. So I think these guys are the queenless one. So this space is way too big for them. So I'm going to have to move these into a nuke, I think. Choose the 6 best frames with brood on. Make a choice. That's just pollen. Right, so this is the sign that this is the one without queen. You can see it here. We've got 4 queen cells right on the end there. So there's no queen in this, so that's good. So we're going to knock it down because I do not want that queen to be propagated. And then when they are hopelessly queenless, we can add that queen in the cage and release her. But we're going to have to transfer these guys to a nuke because, yeah, there's just not enough bees here whatsoever. Let's get a nuke box. So that's brood. Put that in the middle. We're going to keep brood and food. Any space, we're just going to leave them to it. More brood with some food on the outside. That can be an outer frame. Want to make sure it's nice and concentrated. where the brood is. That's got some food on it. Put it to the other side. That's food, but I don't need any more food frames right now. I'm going to shake any bees off, make sure they're in this box. It's got open cells of food, so that's good. No bees there. Right, so that now has about half full of bees, so that's better. And there's cap brood in there, so it means that they'll hopefully emerge soon, and they'll accept the queen. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to put this nuc box back here, and I'm going to put the queen dead centre and break the tab. So I'm going to choose who we're going to do with this one. I think we'll go mongrel with this one. So we have two tabs here. So if you look, there's a small tab there and there's a big tab there. Generally they do the small tab first so all the workers can get out first, then you do the big one. It doesn't really matter from what I can tell. Never had any issues with a load of workers inside the actual box before, because they all sort of like intermingle. So I just bust both tabs out. It doesn't really make a difference. So that's busted open, as you can see, direct to the fondant. So what will happen is the bees will eat away that fondant. It'll take enough time for them to do that they will be feeding the queen over here, getting to know her a bit, passing around the pheromone, and she'll come out, and this is their only chance at survival. So because this is their only chance at survival, they will hopefully not kill her. Now there's a few complications that you can have where they will let the queen emerge, let her lay a bit, and then they'll kill her off. That's what you get if it's two different types of bees. So if mine are mongrel bees, and this was, say, like a buckfast, something like that, sometimes they'll let the buckfast emerge, they'll wait for her to lay a bit, and they'll go, yeah, we're going to make our own queen. This is our queen now, and they'll kill her off. That won't be the case with this one, hopefully, because it's a mongrel bee, so it'll hopefully be accepted. So it's easy enough. Find a stick, break the tabs, put the stick through here, find where the brood is predominantly, or where the bees are congregating, and then place the queen down there. And put the lid on, and then don't come back for 2 to 3 weeks. If I find a frame of solid brood, what I might do is come back and just give them a frame of solid brood just to give them a bit more of a boost, because they are very weak looking at it. But I won't be giving them any eggs, because if I give them any eggs they'll prefer to draw their own queen out than accept a random interloper. Yeah, just leave them to it. That's 1 out of 6 done. I think I'm going to requeen this one, but I'll get to that after I finish the angry hives. So this is the next angry hive. We'll take this off and we'll see what they look like inside. My guess is that these are going to be quite small as well, unless the queen's in here. So these are filling much more of the box. These have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seams. That's much stronger than the other one, so that's good. Again, I'm just going to go through, see if I can see any queen cells. If I can see queen cells, it means that the queen is not present here, and I can just pop the new queen in straight away. Now remember, these are angry bees, so even though the flying bees have gone home, it's been a week, so some of these will have turned into flying bees, which means that some of them will be angry. So I found some brood. Queen cells, and I didn't go out and get my torch, so that's really annoying. Just to do what I've got. Frame of cat brood here. They have got quite a bit of bold brood, so these guys might be having issues with varroa, more than likely actually. I can't see any eggs yet. This might be the one with the queen. Yep, so queenie's in this one. Okay. So that means I need to be careful and I need to find her. Because there's eggs in this frame. So I'm going to see her off by putting her in a cage and taking her away. Once I've done that, I'm going to put the other queen in here, but I won't break the tabs. I'm going to wait for a week, because what will happen is they will create queen cells out of the eggs that are in here. And I need that to be gone. I don't want them in here, and then I can break the tabs. This is going to take some time trying to find the queen. Oh no, it's not, because I found her straight away, right here. So I'm just going to pick her up and put her in a cage, take her away. You come with me. Right, so I found the queen. Done. So I'm going to put it to the side. But right, so there's no queen cells in here, or there shouldn't be any queen cells in here, so I'm going to close this up and put the other queen on top. So I'll go get her now. So I'm choosing a Buckfast for this one. Again, it doesn't really matter. As long as they're hopelessly queenless, they won't want to lose the queen. So as long as they're okay and healthy, generally it's alright. I chose the knobbliest bit of wood. Hang on. I'm going to have to be careful for this because sometimes they can propolise either side of the cage, and when you break away the frames, it pulls this apart and releases the queen very quickly. That can cause issues, especially if they've got queen cells and stuff like that. They'll just go and find the queen and kill her. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some tape and tape it up very quickly. I'll leave that there so they can start to get used to her. Right, just need some masking tape, and we're just going to wrap it a few times around where the fondant is. So don't go where the holes are, just go where the fondant is. And I'd do a few layers, just because these bees like to chew through stuff really easily. That'll do. Oh. So what I was doing there was I was just turning the cage underneath the tape. Oh dear me. Why on earth are you guys watching me? Absolute klutz. Right, there you are. I was wondering why it wasn't looking thicker. Oh dear me. Right, so I've taped up that quite well. The bees aren't going to be able to pull that apart. Stick this in, and I'm going to press it against where the brood is over here, and hopefully the bees will be fine with them. And I'll come back next week, knock any queen cells down, and then I'll release her. There you are. Now, even though it's a foreign queen, they still have food, and there will be enough nurse bees in there that they will go and feed the queen, because nurse bees don't care. If it's a queen, they'll feed them. But that's fine, that's great. I found the horrible queen. So because I found her, it means that I know that the other ones don't have the horrible queen inside. So that's 2 colonies, so we've got 2 more to do with fresh queens. Brilliant. Put her in my pocket, and I'll deal with her later. Here's the third one. This should be a bit easier. Off at a jaunty angle for me to find a place to put my seat. Whoop. Right. Put this down. Lid off. Let's have a look. So this looks like it's completely abandoned. Oh no, it's not. It's got 2 seams, so it's the same again. So I need to bust this open. So I'm going to have to knock these guys down into a nuke box, I think, because they are not filling this box at all. So that's food, should keep that frame. That's also food. It's got some bees on. So I think, how many seams have we got? 1, 2, 3 seams. Got 3 seams. Let's have a look at the seams, see if they are full of bees. Yeah, so we've got quite a few bees. Alright, I'll get another nuke box. That's fine. Right, so which way are they facing? They're facing that direction. So always put the entrance facing the same direction. Get rid of any cobwebs as well, because we don't want to lose any bees to pesky spiders. Right, we're just going to transfer these frames into this nuke. Yeah, should be enough bees in here. So I'm just going to have a quick shake, make sure there's no queen cells. So there's got some queen cells here. So I'm going to get rid of them. Shake off. Let's have a look. Queen cells. No queen cells there, it's just honey. No queen cells there. It's just brood. Right, that'll have to do. I'm going to put the queen inside now and bust her tab. So I'm going to give these guys another AMM. Now I'd prefer this colony to be bigger than this, but this should be okay. Once she starts laying, this should be alright. And I can always add brood after she's been introduced. The less bees that are in a colony, the better. There's less chance of things going wrong. Right, so I'm going to put her here. I've opened the tabs. I'm going to press this in here. Hopefully it won't open any honey up, and then close it. Right. Now the bees should be able to smell the queen, and they should go and get her now. Yeah, I can literally see the bees running as fast as they can towards her. That's great. That's good news. Just put the lid on. Right, last mean one there, and then it's time for hunting queens to replace. It's good fun. So this is the angry hive full of flying bees. I'm being silly doing this without putting the sting-proof gloves on, but I'm going to give it a go, see what happens. If I need to put them on, then I need to put them on. So they're already flying to my hand. So my goal here is to make sure there's no queen cells. If there's no queen cells, I'm going to give them a queen, and then I'm going to leave them alone. I'm going to try and give these guys a mongrel, just because the chances of them accepting are higher. Busy cleaning up these frames. That's fine. Let them. Oh, guess what I got from the car? Ta-da! Just making sure there's no eggs. Yeah, so they're flying all over my hands. They haven't stung me yet, but it's only a matter of time, I think. There's no eggs there. It's fine. I'm going to try not to shake them, because as soon as you shake bees, they're in the air. Especially when the flying bees. If flying bees are in the air, then you're going to have a bad time. So they're filling this with honey. That's fine. Nice and slow. You are a statue in the world of chaos. Yeah, so these guys have just got busy filling this with nectar and honey, because they've got nothing better to do. Let me investigate you. Not stinging me yet. They're not stinging me yet. They're just seeing who I am, what I'm doing. The damage has already been done. No queen cells yet. It's good. Right, so they are getting a bit uppity now. Smoke them a bit. The fact that the smoke is working this time is probably going to help me out a lot. Stop working this time. Right. So they are starting to bat me in the head, and I can see them trying to get to me. I think the alarm pheromone is starting to spread. Soon it's going to get a bit funky. I think we're nearly there. 3 more frames after this one. Can't see any queen cells, definitely no eggs. Another queen's not eating here. I put my finger on a sharp bit of wax then. Okay, yeah, so these guys are getting a bit more uppity. There's one actively trying to sting me right here. I thought I could get away with it, but evidently not. Good news is that the veil is doing its job. So far, anyway. Retreat. Come back in a second. Here we go. Big rubber gloves. Can't sting me now. So I'm just going to have a quick look. So I'm getting close to the door, so that's where all the bees are and the mob run packets are, so that's why they start batting me now. As they go flying off, bouncing off me, flying back to the entrance. As I fly back to the entrance, I'm right here again, so I fly back up again. So this is where I start getting attacked. Right, so Last frame, and then I'm going to give them another queen. Hopefully this queen will be a lot calmer. God, you're getting battered up there. Yeah. Good, nothing in here. I was right when I put it in. So I'm going to give them a queen. I'm going to put them between the middle frames so they stay warm. I'm going to use a mongrel so I've got a better chance. So it turns out bees can move your camera, which I didn't know. That's quite funny. So I've got the queen here. I'm going to smoke these guys down as best I can. And I'm going to place the queen. I'll pop the tabs. Flip. Pop the tabs. So I'm going to lower her in gently. There's a stick there that I picked up on the floor. I'm just going to push it close gently as I can. I don't want to hurt her. Hopefully the bees will go to her and accept her. And God bless. Good luck. Queen excluder back on. Stop these flying bees from getting to me. Super on. These are some horrible bees. Put this lid on and then leave them alone for 3 weeks now. Hopefully they'll accept that queen and hopefully they'll calm down a bit. That's horrible. Right, so I've only got 2 more queens to put in hives. I found the queen in this one last week. This was particularly nasty, not as nasty as that one over there, which you're still getting battered by. Leave her alone. Leave the camera alone, you guys. Bugger off. Go away. Shh, 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 shh. Anyway. This colony was quite nasty as well. I didn't need to wear my big rubber gloves for this one though. But I found the queen, and she's currently in a queen cage down here. I did that because it meant that they were still queen right, because they still had the queen, but she couldn't go about and lay anywhere. I'm getting battered by these bloody bees over there now. Ow, just got stung on the elbow. Why? It's an angry, angry hive. Ouchie. Smoke yourself all over and try to become blind to the bees again. Try and figure out where they've stung you to be pumping out pheromone. Especially if you're going from one angry hive to another, because the other angry hive will be on high alert if they can smell a pheromone. Oh, right, we'll try with that. Okay, ow, elbow. Lift the lid. Okay. So, I'm going to have to look for queen cells. But I know where the queen is. She's in that queen cage. The chance of making queen cells is slim, and because there's no eggs in here, the chance of them being able to make queen cells is also slim. But let's get these bees off. It doesn't help that it was raining before, because all the foragers will come back now. Not wanting to see any eggs, because that means that she's escaped, which will be very annoying. We're not wanting to see any queen cells either. Quick look at that. So we're seeing a lot of nectar in this one, that's good. Quite fast. Yes, there's nectar in this. Nectar. Nothing. This box is virtually empty, really. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so this box can come off again. Then we've got one more box, and then we can go to the brood area. So this has got honey, and I can see that from the top. So you shouldn't really smoke honey, because otherwise you can taint that honey that's there, and you can get smoky honey, which sounds nice, it's not. So just give little wafts, so you're just dealing with the bees at the top. So those are the ones that set off the pheromone anyway. But smoke yourself mostly if needs be. Okay. So we have drone brood on this frame. That's fine. We'll have a quick shake. I don't particularly want to shake because then it just puts bees in the air, but I want to make sure that there's no queen cells in here. It doesn't look like it. It's fine. flying to my hand now, and I'm not sure why. I'm going to smoke my hand, because it's obviously some pheromone has gone to it. Don't particularly want to be stung more than once today, so if you guys could please the buggy off, that'd be great. Don't worry about smoking yourself too much. You are smoke proof, with the exception of your lungs. Right, some more drone brood there. Can't see any queen cells, no, it's mostly just honey, that's fine. So this has got some capped brood on it that's merged. As you can see, it's emerged from the centre there. And it is emerging brood, so the chance of it having a queen cell here is slim, because that means that all the eggs are there. Right. What? Right, we have got a big queen cell here, so it's a good job I checked. So we have the big queen cell here, so you can see the big queen cell. So that means that putting the queen in the cage did not do its job. I'm going to get rid of this. We do not want any queens coming from this colony. It is nasty. Remember, if they're all over your hands, just take your time. If they start trying to sting you, that's a different matter. But if they're on your hands, they're just investigating, just keep an eye on them. If they start arching the bum to be able to sting you, that's when you can flick them off. There's another queen cell on here. There's 2 queen cells on here, so I'm going to have to shake these off as well. Queen cell gone. Pew. On the other side, queen cell gone. Pew. Have a look for any others. The bees love to hide them. Kill any queen cups as well. There may not be any queens in there, but it's just better safe than sorry. Okay. So there are some larvae here, but they are old larvae, so it shouldn't really matter too much. Don't think they can make queens out of them. So the question is, do I put a mongrel or do I put a buckfast in? I think all we've got is buckfast left now. I can't see any queen cells on here, but there's a lot of bees on here, so I'm just going to quick shake. Cool. So that top box is now clear. So I want to put that box down there. We'll get to the queen and swap her out. So this is where all the flying bees are. So this may get a bit hectic, but don't worry about it. It's got a mix of brood on here, so I'm just going to shake it off. Let's have a look. Queen cup here, look in there. Looking for queen cells, remember, I'm going to get stung here. Okay, I'm going to go put my bigger gloves on, because these guys are trying to sting me. So I'm mostly impervious now, which is fine. It's a bit annoying though, this is why I don't like aggressive colonies. I do beekeeping to enjoy myself. If I'm getting stung, I'm not enjoying myself. Right, so I've just seen that is quite a good frame of brood. What I might do is bolster the other colony over there that looked like it was struggling for brood. I'll be back in a sec. If I find another good frame, I'll pass it to the other colony that was a bit low on brood. Tell you what, this veil is doing a fantastic job at keeping the bees at bay. I've got a good circle around my head that is not being touched by bees, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. The only issue I have is that when I'm looking down, the veil does touch my nose a bit. That's the only issue I have. But not getting stung in the neck is definitely a positive. Right, we've got queen cells here. We'll go. Just drop the queen cage down there. That's another frame of decent brood. I'm going to give that to this one over here. Collect that queen cage if I can. Is the queen still in here? Yeah, queen's still alive in here, so I'm going to stick her in my top pocket with the other one. Get constant buzzing now, sorry guys. My back's hurting a bit, so I'm actually going to get a bit closer. So this is where the queen was. So chances are that there wouldn't be any queen cells here, just because her pheromone will be smelly enough here for the bees to be able to smell it. But we'll see. That's a really good frame. Oh. She has to go. She's horrible. Look at these bees attacking bees. They are now hopelessly queenless. Let's put this in. God, look how angry they are. I've got quite a few stings in my hand. Good job, I had these on. Good job. Right, let's try and move away and hopefully they won't follow me so I can tape up this queen cage. Right, so I'm going to put the queen in between some brood. I'm going to pop the cap. What I'm also going to do as well is I might just put a bit of tape over the front of that, just to make it so that it takes a bit longer for them to get to the queen, just because there was a queen in here before I removed her. So if you are going to put some tape in the front, just to slow them down a bit, make sure you do like a little turf, or just a little bit, just so they've got a bit of grip. Got a bit of a tear there now, so they can taste through and go, oh, there's food behind here. Let's pop this in. I hope they're not killing the body while we're doing it. The problem with these gloves is that they're very wieldy. Right, there's brood here, so I'll open this up here. Right, good luck, Queenie. I believe in you. I'm looking forward to you doing me proud. Right. Smoke these down. Put the boxes back on top and hopefully they'll calm down a bit. What I'll do is when I've finished everything, I'll look at what the date is in 3 weeks. So I have no idea what date it is. And then I'll go on all the boxes and I'll write the date to say when they can be opened again. Going in any sooner than 3 weeks won't do it any good whatsoever, and you can actually do more harm that way, so it's best just to leave them to it. So I'm just going to call it quits there and go to the last one, and this is going to be the last bit that I do here with you guys today, probably. Look at all these bees on my hood. There's definitely one sting in the hood there. Oh dear. Oh, you're getting attacked. So this colony here is pretty chill. I'm getting battered from the bees over there, just showing just how, just showing how aggressive that colony was. The chances of them stinging me in this hive are a lot more reduced than the others, but because there's so many bees flying around, throwing out the alarm pheromone at me, my guess is I might get a bit stung. I've put my normal gloves back on, just because I want to have a bit more dexterity, but we'll crack on with this and see what happens. So the reason why I want to change this queen, even though she is relaxed and chill, is because she's not doing anything. She's really floundering. I think something's wrong with her. I don't think she's particularly old, but I think something's going on. She came out of winter and she was very small, and I think maybe that's what done to affect her. Maybe she got damaged from having a weak colony in winter. So, try and get rid of all the bees that are crawling all over my hands. But my job now is to try and find that queen. So I'm going to start from the bottom up in this one. Again, these bees shouldn't be too angry. She was quite a gentle colony. It's just the other one, so if I get stung, it's probably one of the other ones from the angry hives. Or these have just been attracted to the sting pheromone that's all over me from the angry hives. Generally what you want to do is you want to do the calmest colonies first and then work your way to the angry ones. This is the reason why, because the angry ones will cover you in sting pheromone that will want to sting you, and that will ruin it for all the calm colonies. But in my case, I only have 2-3 hours to do what I need to do, so I wanted to get the important ones done first. So that's why I've gone straight to this. I'll do the shaking down of colonies in a bit, because what I want to do is reduce a lot of the colonies down to one box and put a queen excluder on, like I was doing before with the other ones. I want to shake them all down so I know what the queen is in the box, bring it up, and it means that they're in a fresh box, so they've got lots of space. So I'm just going to smoke these guys, and smoke my face to try and get some space so I can see. So they're still having issues with moisture in here. So I think these bees need to be replaced with better ones that can deal with humidity. And as the queens that I've got are from Aberdeen. I've never known a place to be so rainy. Preston. Preston's more rainy than Aberdeen. Less midges though. Because the queen is walking about laying eggs here, I can't release this queen yet. So I'll have to wait until next week to release her. So that's 2 of the queens that I've had that I'll have to wait till next week to release. I'll have to make a note of that. So we're looking for the queen. That's all we care about right now. It's Queenie. This is going to be extremely boring, so I will probably skip this or fast forward it just for you guys. If you don't see her on your first sweep, then you can always come back on another sweep. So you can always go to another colony, do an inspection there, do a job there, and come back. And she'll have moved from where she was hiding from you. But I've got another box, so I'm going to go through this one, see if I can see her. Can't see her in this box, go to the next box. Can't see her there, I'll go do one of my jobs, and I'll come back. So I've gone through this box, and I can't see her. So I'm going to go to the next box. We'll see what happens there. Yeah, the next box is less full than this one, so hopefully it'll be a bit easier. Honey. Right in between me thumb and thing. Ouchie. Oh, that one hurt. That really hurt. Ouchie. So hopefully the queen is here somewhere. I don't think it's this hive that just stung me, by the way. I think there's still those bees over there that stung me. Because they're all flying on this side of me, straight from that hive over there. See, now she's laying up wall-to-wall brood. It's making me second guess myself. They always do this. Oh, I found her. So she's here. Right, get the Buckfast. So this colony is queenless. They are not hopelessly queenless. So what I do need to do is I need to come back in a week to make sure there's no queen cells, and then I can pop the tabs on this. But until then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick her in between the brood. So it means all the new worker bees that are emerging come out. They have no idea who their queen is, and they'll smell a single queen in the colony, they'll go over and they'll start fawning over her. And they should feed her and look after her, and they will be her new queen. It's a good job that we've got a few frames that are full of capped brood now. So that's a good sign. That means that there's going to be lots of nurse bees going to that queen. I can already see that the bees here are starting to swarm around that queen cage, so that's good. So I'm just going to close it very, very gently. Hopefully in a few weeks, this queen will produce some really calm bees, and all the other ones will as well. And it means that I won't have to deal with this. So the queen is now there. I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to say it needs to be released next week. Right, so let's find out what the date is today. The 14th, so I need to write release 14th. Release 14th June 26. Right, and I'll do that same for the other one over there that had the stingy queen in. And then for the rest of them, I'm going to say check in 3 weeks. So let's do that now. So this one's the 14th, release 14th, 6th, 26. This one is check on the 28th, 6th, 26. Need to get some ink from this. Check 28, 6th, 26. Cool. Right, I'm going to call that done for now. I'll do all the other shaking down stuff like that later on. I've shown you guys it before. It's one of my past videos. This has worked really well to get the bees well away from my face all the way around. It was a little bit clunky. I don't quite like the fact that it's a hat pushing on me, getting a bit of hat hair, showing off my receding hairline. It sucks. But for protection wise, it's done a really good job. The cuffs as well, I would highly recommend using cuffs. I never usually bother because, as I said, these have already kind of got cuffs. But then as you're stretching it does reveal your wrist. So having these extra cuffs over the top has saved me a couple of stings, I think. So I'd highly recommend it. Today we've managed to requeen all of those angry hives, hence the bees still bothering me. Go away. Bother, bother, bother. When you do this, it's not going to take shape straight away. Even if the queen is released, she starts laying up brood and stuff like that, those bees that are angry are still going to be hanging around. They are going to be buzzing you and stuff like that. So if you wait for 3 weeks for the queen to come out, it means that she'll come out, she'll start laying, she'll start producing new brood, but it'll take probably another week or two for that brood to emerge, and they will be nurse bees. Now there will still be flying bees about, and they will be the angry bees still hanging around. So if you requeen a queen and say a month later you're like, she's still angry, it's because the angry bees are still present. It usually takes 6 to 8 weeks for those bees to die off naturally from foraging and stuff like that. So if after like 2 or 3 months those bees aren't calm or anything like that, then maybe you need to requeen again, or maybe you need to have a look, see if there's something else that's causing them to be angry. I'll go into what can cause a beehive to become angry another time, but that is something that you need to think of. Thank you so much for watching these videos. It really does mean the world to me. I try to do this for educational purposes for newbies because there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of beekeepers walking around without veils on, going, my bees are so calm. If your bees aren't this calm, you're a terrible beekeeper. And I don't want newbies to get that in their head. I want you guys to realise that bees are feral in essence. They're slightly tamed, but they're feral. And that's what they should be. They should be defending their hive. They should want to defend themselves, because that's what nature intended, really. These ones that don't want to defend the hive, I feel like they've been bred to be extremely placid. The negative of that when it comes to newbies is that if they've dealt with a lovely placid queen that they get, and having a hive, etc., and then that queen dies, or they swarm and they produce another queen, that other queen will probably have the genetics of local bees. And local feral colonies, they're not calm. They're not as tame as those really calm ones where you can walk around without a veil on. So if you're not used to it, you can think, oh my God, these bees are extremely aggressive. I've shown you what aggressive bees look like. They're the ones that follow you down the path. They're the ones that just swarm over you when you're trying to do anything. Those are aggressive bees. Bees that fly around your hands and just walk about and stuff like that, they're not aggressive. The ones that bounce off your veil every so often, they're kind of aggressive, but they're not aggressive. They're just trying to warn you off, which is a good sign. It means that they're protecting the hive. The ones that follow you down the path, like these, they're aggressive. Those are aggressive ones. If you have any questions whatsoever, any critiques, any advice, anything at all, put it in the comments section. I'll try and get back to you ASAP. I'm pretty good at replying to comments the day or the day after that you put them on my videos. But yeah, I love getting them. I love getting any sort of interest whatsoever. It gives something to read and answer. And if you think you've got a stupid question, there's thousands of other people that are having the exact same question. A stupid person doesn't ask questions. A stupid person thinks they know it all. If you enjoyed what you saw, please, please, please hit the like button. It helps me find more people who are interested in what I'm doing. If you really like it, hit the subscribe button. That really does make my day, seeing the little number go up by 1 or 2 every week. It's brilliant. If I see you next weekend, then amazing. Thank you for coming back. If I don't, then I hope you have an amazing season, and I'll hope to see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.